I think they're both going to be able to go. Find out for sure where they go through their pregame routines. Nicole has had the ankle and last game the elbow, but hopefully they'll both be able to go out there and play.
And what did you learn about your team after watching the film based on yesterday's game?
Yeah, that if you're going to beat the number one team in the West, you got to play for 48 minutes. 9 minutes to go in the game, we're down 4. 5 minutes to go in the game, we're down 8. We're right there. Then obviously, I think at that 5-minute mark, roughly a little under that, they went on a 9-0 run to push it from 8 to 17, and that was it. And Shea in the fourth, Jalen Williams in the fourth quarter, they were great. They combined for 21. We only scored 20. So it's a hell of a challenge, but we understand that we did a lot of positive things in that game. We were right there for the majority of that game, but that's when it comes down to the details and the small things and winning the 50-50 balls and not giving them 15 points on the offensive glass, not allowing Jalen to get 11 free throw attempts and Shea to get 8 free throw attempts. So just got to be more disciplined and more consistent throughout.
Michael, Christian was pretty critical of his performance defending Shea, so not just for him but collectively. Where does a better defensive performance against him start for you?
Well, he had 40 points but on 32 shots. That's obviously you never want to give anybody 40 points, but Shea is an MVP candidate for a reason. And I mentioned the 8 free throw attempts. I think we gave up 5 end ones, a lot of ticky-tack, reaching, soft fouls. And that's what Shea does a great job of. He's second in the league in free throw attempts per game, so you have to be ultra-disciplined in terms of staying down on all the shot fakes, but also showing your hands because he's going to draw that contact each and every time. And then we can give him different looks because I'll be honest, I love the fact that CB is being critical on himself because he holds himself to that high of a standard, and we ask so much of him every night. But I haven't seen one person guard Shea one-on-one and stop him. Not one person in this league has done that, and that's why you see a lot of teams employing different defensive strategies to try to stop him, which usually requires putting a second defender on him. We tried to go zone. Zone was good at times and was really bad at times. So, but yeah, CB just got to, it's not just on that guy. We were leaving that guy on an island quite a bit. Show him help, give him help, and then fly after their shooters. I think sometimes guys get so worried about their own guy, they forget that guy right there is a pretty good player.
You joked a little about just how there isn't really time to practice a zone during the season, even before season necessarily. Do you feel like just when you throw it out there for a few minutes in select games over the course of the season, do guys kind of naturally get better at it from beginning to end, or is it something that you kind of just have to piecemeal together when you
No, good question. I think to your point, Bennett, we don't have a lot of practice time, but we have used that zone throughout the year. So it's not something I never want to be a coach that on the bus ride over is drawing something on the back of a napkin. Hey, let's try this today. That's not coaching. You're setting your team up to fail when you do that. But I do think there's corporate knowledge with the zone that we were trying to use. And like I said, there were some positives and there were some cleanups. And we went through some of those today if we have to use it again. But and then I think when you don't have time on the court, you have film. And I think film sessions can be very, very valuable as a team, but also with individuals to show them, hey, when we're in this defensive strategy, this is what you need to be doing within that. And I think guys have been receptive to that.
Mike, Daigneault's proven to be a pretty good NBA coach, but he's pretty anonymous. People didn't know much about him when he was hired. Did you know much about him, and is he one of the more anonymous hires that you've seen in your years following the league?
I don't know. I knew that he was here within their system, helping with their G League team. Gotten to know him obviously over the years, and obviously have a lot of respect for the job that he's done. But I can't speak to anonymous, not anonymous. People know who he is now, and that's all that matters. He's done a hell of a job with this team. Sam Presti's done a hell of a job with this team, building this team. And putting the right pieces around, their superstar. And I think that's really important. So top to bottom, this organization has done an outstanding job.
Could you give more information on Aaron's, I don't know if injury is the right word, but whatever's going on?
Yeah, I think we'll have a much better idea when we get back to Denver tomorrow. And speaking with Aaron and speaking with Steve Short, the concern for me right away was this going to be another Christmas night game in Phoenix where he was feeling it, wasn't feeling great, and he was out for a little while. He won't play today. We all know that. But I'm hoping and praying that it's not as sinister, as Steve Short likes to use that word all the time, as that. Maybe it's just a couple of games and we can get him back. Obviously, only 18 to go. I think Aaron has missed 26 games now, a lot of games. So my heart breaks for him because it's hard to get into a rhythm of a season when you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. And that's been Aaron's case this year. And I think when he has been available, I think he's been outstanding for us. So I think Scott had asked the question before the Phoenix game. Your starting five has only been together for this many games. And here we are on the second night of a back-to-back playing the #1 seed again, and you don't have your starting power forward, who is a big part of what we've been doing for the last 5 years since he's been in Denver.
You mentioned some of the coverages the team turned to just with Shea, like trying to put two on him, just a variation to that. What have you seen from the guys who he makes the next pass so it turns into a way process those sort of hockey sets guys in the way area for?
Well, that's the issue, right? You put two on a great player, you're going to give something up. And you can say you got to fly around, multiple effort, but anytime you put two on the ball, you're going to open up something else. And that's the scary thing about this team is that it's not just Shea. I mean, they have another all-star in Jalen Williams. They have a lot of other really good players. They shoot the ball extremely well from three. A lot of guys that can handle the ball. They come at you in waves. So what it says about their team is that, one, Shea is not going to fight it. He's going to make the right play. I've got two defenders all over me. Let me trust my teammates and let those guys make a play. And there's a reason they're #1 in the Western Conference. It's not just because of Shea, although he's a big part of it. They are a complete basketball team.
You mentioned you hadn't seen anybody shut Shea down one-on-one. What is it about him that makes him such a dynamic one-on-one scorer?
He can get anywhere on the court he wants to go. I remember when I was being around my father for many years, and he used to talk about, watching a guy like Tim Hardaway, who was in college. And my father was in Detroit at the time, and Jack McCluskey was the GM. And what stood out to those guys was that Tim Hardaway had the ability to get anywhere on the court he wanted to go. And with Shea's size, I don't think people realize how strong he is. His ability to break you down off the dribble, get wherever he wants to go, raise up and shoot that mid-range shot, draw free throws at the second best level in the entire league, has the ability to knock down the step-back three. So he really has, there's no weakness in the game offensively. There's no chinks in that armory. That guy is as thorough as an offensive player as you will find. But he's also able to just create separation on top of having a great handle. And sometimes I think he gets away with a little bit of the push off, but I'll be begging for that call all day long today, but they won't call it. And you'll just you hope he misses it when he shoots it. But as I said before last game, you can't say enough great things about him. And the little that I've known him and gotten to know him, I love who he is as a person. And that's what you like to see in this league. When you have talent, character, about the right things, you can only have nothing but love and respect for that. Appreciate it, everybody.